History has taught us to divide war into simple colors. Heroes on one side, monsters on the other. But what if I told you that, in the midst of the most brutal regime of the 20th century, one of the most feared generals of the Third Reich chose something that Nazism itself considered a weakness? In the scorching desert of Africa, where life was worth less than water and death came without warning, Erwin Rommel, the man the Allies called the Desert Fox, made decisions that don't fit into slogans, don't fit into propaganda, and still disturb those who prefer a simple story. Because Rommel was an enemy, but he refused to act as an executioner. While the regime he served preached the total dehumanization of the adversary, Rommel treated British, Australian, and American prisoners with a respect bordering on silent insubordination. He did not allow summary executions, did not tolerate mistreatment, and insisted that captured soldiers receive water, medical care, and protection, even when his own troops suffered from extreme shortages. In a scenario where brutality was the rule and compassion was seen as treason, Rommel acted guided by a personal code of military honor, a code that did not come from the Nazi Party, but from an old and dangerous vision for the regime, that the enemy was still human. This doesn't make him a hero, and that's the most uncomfortable part of the story. Rommel fought for a Germany that committed unspeakable crimes, wore the uniform of an army that upheld a monstrous system, and achieved victories that prolonged the war. But at the same time, he refused to cross certain lines. When indirect orders suggested the extermination of prisoners or cooperation with SS units, Rommel simply ignored them. He didn't protest in speeches, he didn't make theatrical gestures, he simply disobeyed. And in a regime where blind obedience was sacred, that was a dangerously subversive act. Rommel's story forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth. War is not a moral fairy tale. There are men capable of honorable acts within immoral systems, just as there are atrocities committed in the name of causes considered just. Recognizing this does not absolve, glorify, or rewrite crimes, but it reminds us that humanity sometimes survives in the most unlikely places. And perhaps the real shock is not discovering that an enemy acted with dignity, but realizing how much we need to believe that this never happened to maintain the illusion that the world is simple.